Hello, Hong Kong. Thank you very much for having me. I am very, very happy to be here. My friends in Hong Kong, from ECT all the way to some of the customers, you've all been really, really great to us, and I really appreciate it. I'm very happy that finally we are able to put out a product that more of you will find interesting, and I hope that this is a renewal of a relationship that we will have for many more years. I think what we wanted to do with Project M was to reinterpret familiar design in a different way. And for many audiophiles or many musicians, they know of the UIEM. And the UIEM has been a traditional look for many years, and which spans from a price point which is, maybe $50 all the way to $5,000, even $10,000 US. It all kind of looks the same. They all had a certain look for their custom models. And when you went to the shops to listen to it, they had a universal custom that you could use to listen and see if you liked it before you place an order for a custom. That became the look for many UIEMs today. There is a reason for that look and for that shape, because it is comfortable, it is practical, but at the same time, I always felt like it wasn't a direction visually or aesthetically that we really, really liked. I felt there wasn't much space for us to work on. The canvas wasn't so big. So when we finally got the idea for how we felt like this UIEM look could be changed to make it a little bit more different, a little bit more attractive, feel like that when you put it in the ear, but still be very different when you first look at it. So that was the idea for Project M. Once we get a feeling on how we want to do that, and we know that we have the technical capability to do that, because we discovered a new way of measuring something, or we discovered a new material, then we go ahead and we actually start to design the product. The tuning and the technical development for Project M is also a little bit different. It's a UIEM type look, but still looks very different. At the same time, it still allows our original technical ideas to be presented, because we put a metal chamber for controlling the acoustics of our dynamic driver into this resin shell. As I said, I'm a mechanical engineer, so my strength in materials has always been metals. We still needed to have some kind of a metallic chamber or some kind of a chamber to control the dynamic driver a little bit better. Yeah, so when we had the two things, we could put them together. That's how we ended up with a Project M. One of my very, very good buddies helped me with it, to work on the technical design and the acoustic design for Project M. His name is Michael. So when we were working on it, I decided that it would be a cool project to name it after him, because he's very young. He started to be a DITA fanboy when he was about 14 years old, and at that time we just started the company. It was in Shanghai, and we were at an event, at an audio show. So he DIY'd himself a headphone at 14 years old. And then he was running around the whole show, visiting people. And Dr. A.J. Vandenhole, who made the cable for us at that time, was at the show in Shanghai. So this boy came up to Dr. Vandenhole, and he said, "Oh, look, I made this thing," and and Dr. Vandenhole said, "Wow, this boy is amazing, he's really talented and he loves the product." So he introduced him to us, and from that day onwards, this little boy started hanging out with us and learning how to build IEM with us, build earphones, and then of course he did a lot of research himself. And when it was time for him to go to university, he asked me, he said he wanted to go to the US or to the UK, and he asked me what I thought. I said, what do you want to study? He said he wanted to study something related to audio. I said, are you sure? Yeah, I really want to do that. So I gave him some advice. I wrote him some recommendation letters, and he went to the UK to study this. And then he got accepted into their PhD program, or rather, you know, somebody wanted to accept him for the thesis that he wanted to write. So he continued to do that. And then because of COVID, he had to take a break in his studies and research because all the labs were closed, and you know, it was difficult to communicate and to do things. So he came back from the UK, and we said we could do this, you know. And so he helped a lot with the technical development of this product. That means that he's been hanging around our company for the last 8 to 9 years already, right? So he really knows the product, he really knows my style, he really knows what we are going for. And combine that with a little bit more science from the latest research that he was doing, we could develop a product that we thought was a little bit more interesting. So that's why we call it Project M. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys again very, very soon.